We're live. Grrrr. Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, and today a little bit of a soggy Saturday out there. Bear's kind of dodging the showers. You know, you try to go out, be able to do stuff on the weekends and everything. Get everything planned. Oh, you have all the friends and family and everything, and then it completely downpours and rains on you. So, dodging some showers, a little bit of a sogginess in the woods. But you know what? Come rain, or, well, we really don't get any snow here. Come rain or hurricanes. Well, maybe not a hurricane. Come rain or, a slight heat, maybe some humidity. The show will go on. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Even if we don't have any, very many comic-related stuff here today. We got in just the other day the Oddity book, so if you want to check that out, we have the box open up. Of course, Bear forgets to do it in HDR, so it probably doesn't look completely like what it normally looks like. But you know what, Bear tried his best to do it. I tell you what, people, sometimes, some days it works, some days it doesn't. So, anyways, we're going to move a little bit from the comics world to we're going to talk a little bit about let me pull it up here. Where am I? Oh, for crying out loud, Bear. One of these days, we will actually do a professional show. It's not going to be today, though, unfortunately. Sometime in the future, possibly. All right, this actually comes to us from Bounding Into Comics, and Spencer Basuli. I will go with that. Yes, indeed. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name, sir. Or madam, let's just say a person of indeterminate gender out there. Yes, indeed. Yes, of course, Comicsgate is better than the fandom Mentis. Yes, indeed. Well, I would say probably it's good to have you here, Miguel. I'd probably say maybe the creators out there. Beer doesn't have anything against the Fandom Menace fans out there. Even George. No disrespect for the fans or anything like that. The Fandom Menace. I just have some issues maybe with some of the creators out there. But that is for another day and another time. Let's see. It is Activision / Blizzard. I think they one bought out the other, I forget who. And King developed a new tool to measure character diversity in video games. I guess you could relate this maybe to comics or movies as well. Yes, indeed. So let's go ahead and get right on into it here. It says, amidst. Wow, that's a way to start off an article here. Amidst a rapidly declining player base across their library of Blizzard titles. Trying to remember one that Bear's played in a while. I don't recall. In multiple sexual misconduct lawsuits, Activision Blizzard has sought to reintegrate itself. I tell you what, people. Bear needs to get a thesaurus out here. There's some words, people. Has sought to reintegrate itself with the public by revealing their development of a new tool which qualifies the diversity of a given video game cast according to the superficial characteristics. There you go. There's a character there. I tell you what, need to get rid of those guns. You gotta fight fair, humans. Gotta fight fair out there. Crafted by Activision Blizzard subsidiary Candy Crush developer King, the company's new diversity space tool is the end result of a world where players' demands for diversity in video games amounts to nothing more than we want non-white, non-male, non-straight characters. There you go. Well, you know what? They could make a video game or movie or a comic book or whatever out there that has a non-white, non-male, non-straight character. I'm sure it would do terrible, but you can go ahead and do that. You don't have to keep shoving your a version of things into stuff that really doesn't need it there. So, like for example here, let me find it here. Like for example here, we actually have this I suppose it's supposed to be like a knight. A knight back in the Middle Ages. I'm not sure if there's that many uh, 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 um, ebony ladies out there that were fighting in the Middle Ages. There, I don't recall there being that many. It goes on, it says, revealed on May 12th and heralded as a, quote, leap forward for inclusion in gaming. The tool appears to be born in response of the results of the 2019 International Game Developers Association. Their developer, rather, a satisfaction survey. So before the world ended there, they got together and says, we need more satisfaction. Oh, wherein? What was his name? Spencer? Spencer, you're coming up with the big words here. Wherein respondents noted that the most important factor in the growth of the video game industry was, quote, more diversity in content. So, you get, pardon me, it is Diablo Immortal is the lady here that we see. From there, King sought to answer the question, how do we convert this feedback from collective desire into tangible reality? In other words, how do we take what our customers are saying and give it to them? I tell you what, the word games that these people play. Way back in 2016, this subsidiary began working. By the way, it's Candy Crush. I mean, how much more diversity do you need in Candy Crush? I don't know. It began working on, quote, a method for guarding against unconscious bias and exclusion, rather, when it came to the creation of games and their characters. Eventually partnering with the MIT Game Lab. There's an MIT Game Lab? Beer Mist is calling, I tell you what. A video game-centric arm of the noted research university to turn the concept into something more tangible. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Let me get back here. Not paying attention here. Let's see. Let me go back. Where were we? Oh, Bear. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. There you are. One of these days, we will actually do a professional show. Alongside King explained Activision Blizzard, the MIT tax. I tell you what, I mean, with the smartest people in the world, and they're doing a mission statement into tangible software that would create and monitor guidelines for character conceptions, and creation, looking into all the ways of basic elements such as gender, body type, roles, that would be heroes versus villains, and even such granular focus such as pose or body movement can suggest powerful things about a character one way or another. Yes, indeed. Miguel says, I have the old Diablo 2 Special Edition. In the deluxe manual, the paladin is black. Well, pardon me. Pardon me, Miguel. Pardon me. I think, Beer many moons ago may have played Diablo 1 a long time ago. It's been a while. I'm not very up to date here on Diablo here. He says, notably pointed out by King Globalization Project Manager Jacqueline Comateris. We're going to go with Comateris. The diversity tool was developed, quote, mostly as a volunteer effort. Yes, indeed, much like slavery. With employees supposedly spending their off hours, working on the tools simply because they believed in its potential so much. Yes, indeed. And not because they were worried about their job if they didn't. An important principle for us at King is that all players should feel welcome. The integration is to inspire game teams, not just at King, not just making Candy Crush, but throughout Activision Blizzard King Network. I didn't know King was a part of all that. To think outside the box and to challenge preconceived notions about how characters should look and act. So they came up, let me bring it up here. Pardon me, people here. Bring it up here. Because they have this weird sort of matrix that they're coming up with here. So it looks like they're taking a sort of, I'm assuming, Beer hasn't played Overwatch, so pardon Beer here, but looks like they're taking maybe different character maybe characteristics, I guess, of some of the different character types out there, and bringing it all together here. Let me see if I can maximize this. Nope, not that one. Gosh darn it! Oh, beer. I tell you what, one of these days. One of these days. Okay. So, anyways, it's got this little, I suppose, matrix here of culture, a race, age, a cognitive ability, you big dummies, a physical ability, body type, facial features and beauty, gender identity, your sexual orientation, your socio-economic background, and of course, we already did culture there. So they have all these matrices tied together to what you're. By the way, the easy way to do this, Activision, is just, I don't know, instead of putting everybody into little individually collective boxes that they have out there, why not just treat people, I don't know, or characters as individuals? They're very unique. On their own, you don't have to check off each and every little box there. So, of course, you see you have all these different stuff here of the different cultures and races and all that fun stuff there. So they came up with a way to basically make the non-white, non-male, non-heterosexual characters out there more prominent, I suppose. Yes, indeed. So let's go on. Let's go on. Let me get back here. I tell you what, people, one of these days. One of these days. Yes, indeed. All right. Tank Ferrita, good to see you here. Let's see. How to make offensive stereotypes. A matrix made by Wokefest fanatics. Or Wokest fanatics, rather. Yes, indeed. He's got that there. Quote, as a result, the King Manager maintained, hopefully we will create more characters that break the mold and better represent women, non-binaries, and other underrepresented minorities in the industry. Including apparently a sort of a black sniper in World War II. I assume maybe there were some out there, but I don't know how prominent they were. Turning the tools, actual mechanics, how do you pronounce her name? Chromatas, whatever. Continued, quote, the diversity space tool. I tell you what, diversity space tool sounds like a, like something out of Star Trek or something like that. Quick, Mr. Sulu, turn on the diversity space tool. Is a measurement device to help identify how diverse a set of character traits are, and in turn how diverse that character and cast are when compared to, quote, the norm. Yes, indeed. So, unnormal here. Once it establishes a baseline for a typical character trait, which is done by the creative team working closely with the die experts. Bear is a die expert. It can weigh new characters' designs against it to measure their diversity. Yes, indeed. The lady added, during this process, the tool can also uncover unconscious bias, such as why certain traits are seen as male versus female. I would assume Wang versus no Wang there, or why characters from certain ethnic backgrounds are given similar personalities or behaviors. Well, probably because, not because it's stereotypical or anything, but it's part of their culture. It was part of one of your things that you had on there anyways. I tell you what, people. As seen in a demo of the screenshot provided by Activision. Actually, I've got that right here. Hold on. Bring that up. For you good people here. There we go. Let's see. As seen in a demo of the screenshot provided by Activision Blizzard, the tool assigns characters a number of metrics based on which diversity boxes they happen to checked off. The boxes include culture, race, age, cognitive ability. Well, actually, let's just bring it up here. I think we can do that. Let me find it here. There we go. Come on, OBS. I tell you what, one of these days. So there, you've got your character here, Anna. There we go. Good to see Bianca. Good to see Bianca. Go check out Bianca's channel. Not right now, though. Not right now. Let's see. You have Anna here, and she's got all of her characteristics that she has going on here. Let's see. I assume she. I don't know. Let's see. She is Egyptian, so there's your culture. Your race is Arab. Wait a minute. Hold on. Well, I don't know. Isn't Egyptian more African? I would assume because it was in Africa that Egyptian would be African, but you never know. You never know. Let's just throw them in with the Arabs. Let's go. Age is 60. Holy cow. Holy cow. By the way, you actually have the number next to it. So Egyptian, she scores really high. Arab scores really high. 60 years old scores really high. Cognitive ability is reason. You can't have that. 0. Physical ability. She's one-eyed. A one-eyed Egyptian Arab over 60. We're checking off all the boxes. That only rates as a 4 of your physical ability. Your body type is slim and a little bit curvy. You can't have that. 0 on that. 0 on that. Your facial or beauty features is slightly aged at age 60 there. You only get 1 out of that one. I tell you what, for a one-eyed Egyptian Arab that's over 60, not bad, not bad. A gender identity is a woman. A sexual orientation, thank goodness, is heterosexual. And God forbid she's in middle class, so that just deserves a 0 right there. Just a 0. Let's see, Tank corrects Bear here. He says, Egyptian equals, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to go with Kemetic. Kemetic, we will say. So there we go. Which I assume is a separate race than Arab. Bear has not looked that up, but I'm going to go with what you're saying here, Tank. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get back here. Find it here. Where is it? Come on, people. There we go. There we go. And there's Bear. Yes, indeed. Let's see, the lady, whatever her name is, added, the tool identifies what stereotypical characters in different genres look like, which are not always the most conductive or representative of diversity. Who cares? It's a video game. I mean, I don't care that Mario is an Italian plumber. It doesn't have any effect on whether or not he can eat mushrooms and grow, or eat a flower and spit fire. Yes, indeed. It helps to identify these stereotypes, while also helping creators look closer at their designs, so they can dissect their own assumptions and presets. Gosh darn it! The project manager elaborated. It also helps identify opportunities for more diverse character narratives to ensure that we are not only creating diverse characters in appearance alone. Well, hopefully they're attractive, because otherwise, why would you have a bunch of ugly people in your video games? That just doesn't make any sense. The tool, says Activision Blizzard, I tell you what, we'll get it right, allows King and others to ask these important questions for Candy Crush, of course, at the earliest possible moment, to promote more thoughtful creative choices from the ground up, which in turn leads to games that are more representative of their player base. Again, Bear does not have to be, even a human, but much less Italian to play Mario. Aliana Cole, the diversity, equity, and inclusion, the die manager at the secondary Call of Duty subsidiary, developer Sledgehammer Games revealed, to the surprise of few considering the Burger King Kids Club Special Forces team that the game centers on, that the tool had already been tested by developer teams working on Call of Duty Vanguard. So there you go. There is the I'm sure there was plenty of either African American or maybe just African, I suppose, fighting in World War II, but man, it wasn't really that prominent though. Probably had more women snipers in Russia than black. I'm assuming maybe British. I'm going to assume British because the American forces were segregated. You didn't have any of those guys, except for maybe what was it? The Red Tails. I'm trying to remember the Tuskegee Airmen out there. Yes, indeed. We use the die tool to figure out what more diversity looks like across all of our characters in both the campaign, multiplayer, and live sessions. You recall? Well, they would look a lot like let's see, the Overwatch guys here. And now, we're going to use that data going forward into the next games that we're working on. Oh boy, you wonder why you're losing players. Well, you're doubling down on stupid. Unsurprisingly, Activision Blizzard noted that the Overwatch 2 team has also had a chance to experiment with the tool with equally enthusiastic first impressions. Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet. Oh, let's see. Tank Ferret says, Wookiees do not know what they profess. Delicious proof pudding. That makes beer hungry. Let's see. Miguel says, make a Japanese character is how Chinese. Tell me how it sales in Japan market, or make a Costa Rican character. There you go. How is Nicaraguan? And tell me. I believe Miguel had more thoughts there, but there you go. Yeah, again, it doesn't really matter that much. Let's see. Sells well. Miguel continues. Sells well to diversity. Don't work in all places. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. According to, how do you pronounce her name? Chromatas, whatever the heck. The tool will release internally across Activision Blizzard starting this summer. Oh boy! The project's team's ultimate goal is for the tool to be put in the hands of developers industry-wide, as they strongly believe in the tool's potential to change the gaming landscape. Let me go back to it here. There we go. There we are. Further, Chromatus shared her belief that the tool could have a similar impact on other mediums. The traits and measures are applicable to a wider entertainment verticals, including TV, film. I don't know how literature would fit into that. Probably comics there as well. And oh my god, holy cow. Warn beer before you show. Scroll past that. Ay. The only change required is, if used in these verticals, would be the baseline traits, which would need to be calibrated to be relevant to the genre, and the universe each character exists in. Like anything, this is a simple tool that provides insights. It's up to the teams that create the characters and games to apply them. Well, I would also say the DIE people out there as well, that they would probably have to have certain check marks on whatever is out there to make sure your game gets released. It continues on. An editor's note published on May 13th claims the tool, quote, is not being used in active development, and the original post was, quote, edited to make that clear. However, the post, even in its edited version, still claims that it has been used, in development teams at Activision and Blizzard. And both of these guys just can't believe it. They were like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. What do you make of Activision Blizzard's new diversity tool? Well, Bear just told you. Let us know on your thoughts on social media. Well, or you can come to Bear's channel and he'll tell you. He'll tell you what good lord. I tell you what, the dye matrix on the facial slash beauty probably is at a 10 or 10 plus on this character right here. Yikes. Yikes, people, I tell you what. Alright, well, anyways, that was, scroll back up here to give credit to Spencer Bakuli with multiple words out there that Bear's going to need to find a thesaurus to. When you're starting out with amidst, you're already about 20 IQ levels above Bear here. So that took a little bit to get through, but you know what? We got through it together. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see. Let's going on. Once again, Bear doesn't have a whole lot of comic-related stuff here, but I tell you what, if you've been watching Bear's show, you know what? You don't necessarily come here for maybe the comics or the commentary out there. No, you come here for the cryptocurrency talk. Yes, indeed. So we were actually talking the other day, literally, what was that? Wednesday, Thursday, whatever that was, about what was called, what was it called here? Well, this is Luna. There was another one out there as well. Basically what was called a stable coin. So essentially you have your cryptocurrencies out there, and if you wanted something that wasn't as volatile, we'll get to that in a second, you could put it into something called a stable coin, which does supposedly what it's supposed to do is keep things stable. So essentially your one for one. So it was basically pegged to the dollar there. So if your token turned out to be worth $1 or something like that, you could change it out for a stable coin. Well, it turned out that the stable coin wasn't as stable as everyone thought. So this is from CNET, and I'm trying to see who wrote it here. They might have it at the bottom here. Give them credit. Luna, which is a sort of a cryptocurrency out there, the Luna cryptocurrency collapsed. How UST broke and why it matters. Last week, a Luna coin, if you went out there and bought your Luna coin at $85, and now it's worth a penny. Sorry about that. The cryptocurrency market isn't looking pretty right now. No, it's not. Look anywhere and you see red, Bitcoin and Ether are both down 30%. Holy cow. Hitting lows not seen since 2020. Altcoins like Solana and Dogecoin, Doge, to the moon, I tell you. And Cardano are faring even worse. It's bad news for crypto investors, but nothing unheard of. These are notoriously volatile assets reacting to tempestuous economic conditions. There we go. That's a mouthful right there. What's much more is unusual and much more important is the collapse of the Luna cryptocurrency and its associated Terra USD. So that's what we're going to be talking about here. You may not have heard of UST before or know what a stable coin is, but that's what Bear is here for. But it is a big deal. Billions of dollars in crypto wealth has been vaporized, completely gone, sending shockwaves throughout the whole market. Well, it should. There are two intertwined stories here. That of U.S. Treasury stablecoin and that of Luna. Both of which rather are part of the Terra blockchain. Let me grab a drink here for crying out loud. Much better. There we go. The UST coin is designed to retain a value of $1 at all times. But depegged on Saturday and has since fallen as low as 30 cents. So your dollar is not worth 30 cents. Then there's Luna, the centerpiece of Terra's ecosystem. Let's bring that up here. Let's see, where is it here? There's our Luna chart right there. The centerpiece of Terra's ecosystem. Its value has collapsed in one of the most stunning crypto crashes ever recorded. So you were doing fine. You were doing fine in March and in April. You know, there's a couple spikes there, but that's okay. That's nothing to worry about. And then you get into May, and it's starting to go down a little bit, and oh my goodness, it crashed. It kills everything there. The coin's price fell from $116 in April to just a penny on Thursday. Its market cap now stands at $641 million. Not bad. Down from a peak of over $40 billion. This is historic for the crypto market, says Mike Barrows, a co-founder of crypto investment firm Fortis Digital. For crying out loud. Straight to the volcano to you, sir. This is a defining moment for the space due to its size and impact in terms of the amount of people that have lost substantial value. Yeah, there you go. If you were riding high there last week, unfortunately, you're probably maybe jumping out of the building this week. You never know. You never know. There we go. There's beer. Okay, so it asks, what is a stable coin? Let's see, to understand the crypto catastrophe, you first need to know what a stable coin is. In essence, it's cryptocurrencies that peg to more stable currency. The biggest such coins are Tether and USDC, which, like most stable coins, are both tied to the US dollar. So if you have 1,000 USDC tokens, they can be at any time exchanged for $1,000. Stable coins are an integral part of the DeFi, designed to be a way for investors to hedge against the volatility of the cryptocurrency market. You don't get into the market without knowing that it is volatile. Or you shouldn't. If you don't know that, then you should probably sell and step away from the table. Let's see. He says, say Ether's price is at $19,000, which is where it's at today. Quite a dip from what was it last week, where it was 26 or something like that. A trader could exchange one Ether for 1,900 USDC tokens. If tomorrow Ether drops by 50% to $950, Bear was told there wasn't going to be no math here. Let's see. Those 1,900 USDC tokens could be exchanged for 2 Ether, since the USDC is designed to retain its $19,000 value. When investors smell a downswing coming, they put their money on stable coins like Tether. We'll get to that in just a second. USDC, and until this week, oh boy, UST. Yes, indeed. Oh, let's see. Tank Ferret says, what's the difference between cryptocurrency and Preston Polder? Yes, indeed. The crypto can be depegged. Yes, indeed. Very good. Very good. Bear chuckles at that. The Terra UST coin is different to Tether and USDC in a key way. Tether and USDC are backed by actual US dollars. Well, if we look back maybe a couple months back, there was actually a story that Bear was talking about Tether. Actually came out with one of the founders was one of the actors in the what was it? The Mighty Ducks movies. Not Emilio Estevez. It was one of the kids there. He grew up to be a Tether billionaire. So there you go. But yeah, it wasn't backed at all by actual dollars out there. Let's see. UST is what's known as algorithmic or decentralized stablecoin. The idea is that through a few clever mechanics, plus about $1 billion of Bitcoin, the UST's dollar peg can be maintained without having to be backed by actual US dollars. Let's see. The decentralized stablecoin is the holy grail of the DeFi, explains Cyrus Unisesi, a former head of risk management at the MakerDAO, the group behind the DII stablecoin. Straight to the Bitcoin volcano for you, sir. Straight to the Bitcoin volcano. All right, going on. Let's see. Terra is a blockchain, just like Ethereum and Bitcoin. While Ethereum's blockchain natively produces Ether tokens, Terra natively produces Luna. Before the DPEG out there, Luna was trading at $85. So to create a UST, you need to burn your Luna. So they give an example here. Last week, you could trade one Luna token for 85 UST, since it was worth about $85. But the Luna would be destroyed or burned, I would say burn it all, in the process. The deflationary protocol was meant to ensure Luna's long-term growth, good luck with that, and more people buy into UST, more Luna would be burned, making the remaining Luna supply more valuable. To entice traders to burn Luna to create UST, creators offered an insane 19.5 yield on staking. A lot of talking about staking out there. It's essentially a crypto terminology for earning whatever percentage, but in this case 19.5 interest on a loan. So basically you are acting as a payday loan type situation there. Almost 20% interest. That's crazy. Through what they call the Anchor Protocol. Instead of parking your savings at the bank for a measly 0.0% interest rate, the pitch is to turn your money into UST. Oh boy, where it can earn nearly 20% in interest. And before Saturday, over 70% of UST's circulating supply, around $14 billion, was deposited in this very well-named scheme, and possibly scam as well. Possibly. Here is the key to UST retaining its peg. One UST can always be exchanged for $1 worth of Luna. So if the UST slips to 99 cents, you're a trader out there, you can profit by buying a huge amount of UST and exchanging it for Luna. And you get that 1 cent profit, oh boy. The effect works in two ways. People buying UST drives the price up, and UST being burned during its exchange to Luna deflates the supply. Then there's the reserves. And this is what we were talking about the other day. Terra co-founder I think co-founder, Do Kwon, aka Rick, out there, good old Rick, created the Luna Foundation Guard, a consortium whose job it was to protect the peg. The LFG had about $1.5 billion in Bitcoin reserves. If the UST dipped below $1, the Bitcoin reserves would be sold and the UST bought with the proceeds, rather. If the UST goes above $1, the creators would sell them, and it would go back to $1, with the profit being used to buy more Bitcoin, oh boy, and pad out the reserve. So what went wrong? What went wrong? Let's see. First off, you're putting money into a digital a token that's not really worth anything once you take it out of the digital casino, as it were. So I would say that would be number one. It all started this weekend. Of course it did. Over $2 billion worth of UST was unstaked, and hundreds of millions of that was immediately sold. Whether this was a reaction to a particular volatile period, with interest rates going up and all that jazz, or more malicious attack on the Terra system, is an ongoing topic of debate. Well, I tell you what, if you're trying to call it a stable coin, and you can't handle $2 billion worth of transactions there, then it's probably not very stable. Such a huge sales pushed the price down to 91 cents. Traders tried to take advantage of the arbitrage, exchanging 90 cents worth of UST for $1 worth of Luna. But a speed bump appeared, only $100 million worth of UST can be burned up for Luna per day. So that would be kind of an issue there. Investors already flighty in the currently gloomy market flocked to sell their UST once the stablecoin couldn't retain the peg. After reaching a low of 30 cents on Tuesday, it rebounded all the way up to 44 cents. Far below its $1 goal. In market cap, which was around $18 billion just a week ago, now stands at under $5.3 billion. So there you go. Once again, you know what it goes on here. I want to find. It didn't have the author's name on there. I was trying to see if it had the author's name on there. Why it matters? Well, because you shouldn't put money into fake things out there. That would be what Bear says about that. So there's a couple other stories out there, same from CNET. Why does it say the author's name there? But let me see. Hold on one second, people. Beer with beer. Let's see. There we go. Daniel, what a great name there. Daniel Van Boom. There you go. Anyways, that was CNET and Mr. Van Boom there. Very cool. There was a couple of other ones as well. They were talking about how what every investor should know. You shouldn't have invested in the first place, you big dummy. You big dope. And then, of course, we also had a kind of an interesting thing there. Beer almost made this the video topic for today. But just wanted to let everybody know they actually have fake NFT mystery boxes out there. So if you ever see any of these sort of videos out here on YouTube or something like that. Let's see. Binance NFT free Autobot for instance purchase of mystery box NFT. They're probably a fake thing because it was infecting the computers and stealing money. Oh, I tell you what, I thought it was all legit out there. I'm just going to read the first little bit here. Let's see. A new Redline malware distribution campaign promotes fake Binance NFT mystery box bots. Try saying that 3 times fast. On YouTube to lure people into infecting themselves with the information stealing malware from a GitHub repository. The Binance mystery boxes are set of random NFTs items that people buy, you morons, hoping they'll receive a unique or rare item at a bargain price. Some of the NFT found in these boxes can be added to rare cosmetics or personas within online blockchain games. Still have no idea how that works. Bear has looked into that. If someone could tell Bear how a blockchain game works, without it being a blatantly casino-like gambling application, Bear would like to know. Mystery boxes are trendy in the NFT marketplace because they give people the joy of the unknown and the potential for a big payday if they land a rare NFT. However, marketplaces like Binance offer them in limited numbers, making some boxes hard to get before they run out of stock. So that's why interested buyers often deploy bots to acquire them, and this is precisely a hot trend that the threat actors are taking advantage of. So there you go. This was Bleeping Computer, and Bill Toolis. Not a good name as Van Doom, but pretty cool. Or Van Boom, rather. Van Boom. That's pretty cool. I actually like that name. That's a very cool Van Boom. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, well, let me get back here. Let me get out of this. Because normally we actually do campaign updates here, but let me just double check here. 1 second, people. We did the show the other day, and like at the last minute, the Wraith of God came in at like the last second. Surprise bear there. Surprise bear. Nope, nothing in the email folder there. All right, let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. Go back to the chat. Figure out. That was a good one. Good one, Tank. I appreciate that one. That was pretty good. All right. Well, you know what, people? Beer normally does this on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We're trying to figure out a good time for it. So if you have any suggestions for Beer, just leave them down in the comments section. We also have, if you want to check it out, let me put it in here. No, let's see. It tries to autocorrect Beer. Let's see. There we go. If you want to check it out, Bear actually has another channel. It's called Barely Live. Just take out the hyphen in the title that you have here. We have pretty much, except for the last about week or so, pretty much all of the previous live shows up there on the second channel there. So if you want to check that out, Bear would appreciate. Hit the subscribe button over there so you can find out whenever anything's coming up to date. If you actually missed the live show here, and maybe you're working or something like that, you can always check out the Barely Live section. We try to rotate the live shows here, so we'll leave them up for usually a couple weeks or something like that, and then basically goes over to the other channel over there. Yes, indeed. So do make sure you check that out. And let's see, what was the other thing? I forget. Anyways, try and do this every Wednesday and Saturday. So we do appreciate you people coming out and checking out all this stuff with Beer. Even though it was a very kind of light show here, we had a great presence. It's always good to see Miguel out there. Great to see Tank Ferret presents with the great jokes out there. And always makes the host look good when the commenters come up with some good zingers out there. Always makes the host look good. So, all right. Well, you know what? All this talk about Bitcoin, U.S. Tether, all this sort of stuff. I tell you what, it's made Bear hungry. That's right. So he's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, people. Grrrr.